Okay, good morning. That's not a typical Thursday morning nigun. You don't sing that nigun just on any Thursday morning. Usually you don't sing it bichlal unless it's, unless it's exactly what's happening is supposed to be happening. And that is that this is the Alter Rebbe's nigun, the Dalet Bavos, the Arba Bavos, and you sing it on this very auspicious day of Yutet Kislev. Today is also the Yortzeit of the Magid of Mizrich. It's not the Yortzeit of the Baal Tanya. The Baal Tanya is Yortz, Alter Rebbe's Yortzeit is Chav Dalet Teves, 24th day of Teves. Today is the day where he was released from jail. And in Chassidus they call this day Rosh Hashanah LaChassidut. Now, when you look at it from the outside, and you're not understanding it from the inside, it's very easy to, tell a lot of funny Chabad jokes about rabbis that are getting out of jail and all those very shallow outside stupidity. But when you look at it inside and try to understand the mahut of the day, the essence of this day with the few minutes that we have, since we learned Tanya here, Baruch Hashem, in the mornings at this time, I wanted to today look at a letter which will help us internalize the depth of this day and the preciousness of the privilege that we have to be starting off our days with the Tanya, with learning Tanya. Now we're learning the Sefer Shar Yichud Ve'emunah. It's one of 5 sections in the Tanya itself. But the first part of the Tanya, which is 53 chapters, is connected to the 53 days that the Alter Rebbe was in jail. Hasidim have so much to say about the power itself of the Sefer Tanya. When you go to a Gidiontiv Ribnati, when you go onto anything, any Sefer, any Hasidus, anything in the world that any of the drachim, any of the paths. Jeremy, you want to move over a little bit? When you learn any of the paths and any of the other Sfarim, they are all always saying the Tanya is a Sefer Ikari. It's not like you can't really, navigate yourself through the spiritual realms of the Torah in today's day and age without the depth of the Tanya. A real Emesdek Breslover will tell you the same thing. My Rabbi Rav Weinberger, who I was privileged to, I saw him for a second at the Binyanei Omah the other night. He was there. He mentioned to someone, not even trying to Khalila say anything big about it, so he just mentioned, Tanya is the Sefer. I think he went through 40 times. And Hasidim go through the Tanya every single year. They finish, their Tanya is divided into daily learning, and they finish it on the day before Yutes Kislev and start it again from the beginning on Yutes Kislev. So anyone that wants to start learning Tanya, today is the day to start from the beginning. And with apps that we have today, and Chabad.org, and the daily emails, and the daily Shem, and Terutzim, there's no excuse to not, fully sink your teeth into it. So I would definitely encourage those that want to start from the beginning. Hopefully we'll also start from the beginning after we finish Shar Yichud Ve'emunah, but that'll take us still probably, I think, 2 more months until we finish Shar Yichud Ve'emunah, approximately. Anyway, so I have one more here, Jack. I have one more here, one more of the copy, the page. Now if you see, it says, Young Yutet Kislev Hu Rosh Hashanah Le Dalet Aleph Chet. Do you see those words? In the middle of the page. Page 78. Yutet Kislev Hu Rosh Hashanah Le Dach. Does anyone know what Dach stands for? Eli, you know this, right? Dalet Aleph Chet. Dalet Aleph Chet Roshei Tevos. It shows up all the time. Divrei Elokim Chaim. Divrei Elokim Chaim. Now, to say that something is Divrei Elokim Chaim, that must mean that you really do believe in the words that are coming out. Divrei Elokim Chaim, the words of the living God.
It's actual words.
Words of the living God. Ze hayom tchilat ma'asecha. This is the beginning of your actions. The day of the beginning of your actions. Now, this is Michtav. I'm just going to explain the Roshei Tevos for a second. Michtav mikvod kedushas ha'admor. Admor stands for Adoneinu Morenu v'Rabbeinu. Morenu HaRashab. Reb Shalom Dov Ber. Nishmasa Eden. His neshama is in Eden. Be'inyan Chag Geula Yutes Kislev. Regarding this holiday of redemption, Yutes Kislev. Who was the Rebbe Rashab? Just very quickly. Basics. There's 7 Nisim, there's 7 Rebbes. The Alter Rebbe, his son was the Mittler Rebbe, Dov Ber. His son was Rebbe Menachem Mendel Schneerson the first. That's the Tzemach Tzedek. After the Tzemach Tzedek comes the Rebbe Maharash, Reb Shmuel. After Reb Shmuel, the Maharash, comes the Rebbe Rashab. He was the father of the Friedeker Rebbe, Rebbe Yosef Yitzchak Schneerson, who was the father-in-law of the Rebbe, of the last Rebbe. So this is from the 5th Lubavitcher Rebbe, and he's going to explain. I saw these words, I saw this letter yesterday, and it brought the inyan of Yutes Kislev, and will hopefully really, give us a lot of koach to further our dedication and commitment to getting up so early and learning such hard things early in the morning. Just like this for this sefer. This is the hardest sefer we have, Shar Yichud Ve'emunah. Okay. Hachag asher pada b'shalom nafshenu ve'or v'chiyus nafshenu nitan lanu. This is the Chag where our nefesh was nifda b'shalom, was redeemed, right? Taken captive, or be redeemed. Nivda b'shalom, in peace, and light and livelihood to our souls were given. Hayom hazeh hu Rosh Hashanah ledivrei Elokim Chaim. This is how they look at this day. This day is the Rosh Hashanah for the Divrei Elokim, for the words of the living God. Asher hinchilanu avotenu hakdoshim, which our holy fathers have inherited for us. Zecher tzadik v'kodesh livracha lechaye ha'olam haba. That's what that Rashi Tevot is. Nishmasam Eden Schisim Again Aleinu. Behi Torah Saval Shem Tov Zichrono Livracha. What's going on here? When you go to a Lubavitcher school and you say, "Can you please show me the origins of Chassidus?" So in a Lubavitcher school and all other worlds of Chassidus, the first two steps are always the same. It's the Baal Shem Tov and the Maggid of Mizrich. That's the Kule Alma. Everyone holds like that. Okay? The Baal Shem Tov, Maggid of Mizrich. Now, when in a school in Chabad, after that, what comes? Reb Alter Rebbe, Reb Shneur Zalman of Liadi. If you go to other schools of thought in Chassidus, what comes after that? Well, he comes to the Alter Rebbe, but you have next to him the Kedushas Levi, the Naim Elimelech, the Rebbe Reb Zusha. There's others in that third line, right? But in Bichlaf, if you go to Breslov, so they mention all that, but then comes Reb Nachman. He's the great grandson, and he's just, sorry guys, I don't really need this. I'm blood, and I'm there. But in Lubavitch, they really, it's a real concept that's very important to understand, that the Alter Rebbe's Torah is the Gilui of the Chiddush of the Baal Shem Tov. It's the revelation of what the Baal Shem Tov was really all about. So when they say that on Yutes Kislev, when the Rebbe was released from jail, and now Torah's Chassidus started being spread all over in a much, much larger, grandiose manner, and the Tanya comes out, what are they really saying? Who else comes out of jail with him? The Baal Shem Tov, Chassidus, the Chedi Chiddush, the chance for Mashiach to come.
So right now, about that argument, with this, the whole story about the Alter Rebbe, these two incarcerations, right? It actually gave a lot of publicity for Chassidus. So when he came out, not only was he coming out to the following he had prior to going in, but he came out to a much greater fall.
Much greater. Absolutely. It's usually like that though.
Right.
But definitely over here. So this is what he said. This is the day Pada B'Shalom Nafshi. Now that's a play on the nigun that the Alter Rebbe. This is a nigun from the Alter Rebbe. Pada B'Shalom Nafshi Mikravdi Iki Rabim. Do you guys know this nigun? Pada B'Shalom Nafshi. It's a very long name. Va'ani eftach bach. They sang this in Otniel, I'm sure. Eftach bach. Va'ani eftach bach. So this is part of that nigun that the Alter Rebbe, one of the 10 nigunim for the Alter Rebbe. It's words from there. These are the words that he said when he was released that day. Now they go even further to explain to you guys, to us, how they treat this day. Zeh hayom tchilas ma'asecha. What's that lashon from? Where do we say those words?
Rosh Hashanah.
Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah. Zeh hayom tchilat ma'asecha. Now they say this also about Yutet Kislev. What does that mean? Zeh hayom tchilat ma'asecha. This is the beginning of your actions, of implementation of your actions in the world. This is where. No, well, 1 second. You're closer to the Rebbe, Jack. You're the cynical one this morning. You're the only one that actually was with the Rebbe here.
Probably.
Shleimus hakavana ha'amitis b'rvias ha'adam alei aretz. Shleimut hakavana ha'amitit. The completion of the real kavana of man on this world is what? Lehamshich gilui or pnimius toratenu hakdosha. To draw down the revelation of the inner light of our holy Torah. Asher nimshach bayom hazeh b'vchinas hamshacha klalis al klalus hashana, which is drawn down on this day in an aspect of a general drawing down onto the rest of the year. You know how, like, in the beginning of the year, you wish people L'shana Tova, Techatvu v'Techatmu? Chassidim walk around in Yutes Kislev and say this to each other, that you should be privileged and to be signed and sweetened. Your deal should be sweetened in the book of Chassidus, in the Limud of Chassidus. that today, the power of today, and the dedication and commitment to the revelation of light, of the words of the Baal Shem Tov through the Alter Rebbe, should draw out to you onto the rest of your year. Yeah, if a Chabadnik was in the room, he'd smack you and say, Lahavdil Elef.
Well, he's not in the room. But no, it's actually, it sounds like the same concept. You're taking a day which is on the calendar.
Right.
It's on the calendar, and it has a meaningful significance that happened in some time of modernity. In other words, anytime after the Tanakh.
Right.
Right? And we've made that, I mean, like, big deal out of it. Hanukkah is the same concept, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of Torahs connecting you to Kislev, and obviously 6 days later the or and the light, Ve'aleinu leha'ir levavenu b'yom hazeh, we must awaken and arouse our hearts on this day. B'vchinas chefetz v'rotzon pnimi ve'atzmi ba'amitas nekudas levavenu. On what level do you have to awaken the nekuda of your heart? The level of what your soul really desires and who you really are in the essence of your heart. Sheya'ir nafshenu, that our souls should shine be'or pnimiyut torato yitbarach, in the light of the pnimiyus of his Torah yisbarach. He's saying this is the day when you really tapped in. This is the day to find out what you really want. Now, all of us find out what we really want when we connect it through the Torah, specifically through Pnimiyus Torah. We all find out what we really want and who we really are. And we believe that everything's in the Torah. And Chassidim believe that obviously everything is in the Nekuda of Pnimiyus Torah and Boker Tov. This is big stuff. This is the day that draws on to the rest of the year to find us, to navigate our soul through this craziness. Now, he continues this letter. Mima'amakim kraticha Hashem, lehamshich bechinas omek upnimius Torah Hashem, umitzvahs Hashem, to draw down the aspect of the depth of the pnimius of the Torah Hashem, mitzvahs Hashem, mibchinas pnimius ve'atzmus or ein sof baruch hu, sheyair bepnimius nafshenu. That the light, the inner dimensions of the Or Ein Sof, of the light of the infinite, shall shine in the depth of our neshama. Anyone want to say this in English?
It's like the day your neshama comes out of incarceration and it can finally shine.
And what's the avoda here? What does it do?
What does that do?
What is
the avoda to make that?
What is the avoda? I'm going to say that you don't have the text in front of you, right? Gilui or Ein Sof. Wait, first of all, what's the or Ein Sof? Is it Yud Kei Vav Kei or is it Elokim? Based on what we've been learning. It's Yud Kei Vav Kei. Elokim has to, mechase on Yud Kei Vav Kei because it'll be too, right? We've been learning for about a month or two already. So he's saying over here that the aspects of the inner light, the actual light of Or Ein Sof, to the extent that it's able to shine through me and that I still exist, should shine through me and still exist. I should still exist. Yeah, Ali.
This is great play on mamakim, right? Because normally with mamakim, like I pray from a dark, deep place where I'm in trouble, but mamakim means like from the inside of my inside. Here.
Right, mamakim sheli.
Yeah.
Shir ma'alos mamakim. From who I really, really am,
yeah.
I call out to you, Hashem. So they say over here, you don't know who you really, really are unless you attach yourself to the pnimius of the Torah. You can't. It's nice to say that. I'm calling out for you from the depths. And that's the goal. But this whole book is to navigate you to reach that place so that you could sincerely say, I'm calling out to you from the depths, instead of just, it's a nice figurative way, It's beautiful. I'm calling out from the depths of the depths. Meanwhile, the Alter Rebbe is standing there. He's like, do you want to know what you just said? Do you want to understand what you just said? Here, join this ride. The Tanya. Asher kol atzmotenu, retzono lomar kol metziutenu, meaning all of our reality, ha'etzem v'hitpashtut, the essence of who we are, and it's spreading out to the world, Yiyu elav yitbarach levad, will be just HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Legaresh meitanu kol midah ra'a umeguna מהמידות הטבעיות, to לגרש, to expel, to, what's a better word, לגרש? Huh? Yeah, to kick out from within us any bad and undesirable characteristic trait. מהמידות הטבעיות, that means from the nature of man that's in this world, to figure out how to, get rid of some, natural types. Like, why did the Torah have to say lo tachmod? Because we tachmod, meaning, which is crazy. Why does the Torah say lo tirtzach?
Because we tirtzach.
So when you have to look at yourself in the mirror, be like, wait a second, if the Torah tells us these things, it's not like, I'm going to have you think about things you've never thought of before, just to mess with your mind. It's like, no, the Torah tells you, don't do these things. Why? Because in us, there are nekudas tiviyot, and that's what we're here to deal with. There are these natural places that we're here to deal with, to try to fight against.
It's not necessarily true. I'm not sure I'm going to just make that statement blanketly.
About what?
That everything the Torah tells us not to do is because we have an inkling to do it.
Sure we do.
If not, then the Torah wouldn't stop mess with our minds.
There could be opportunities for schar. I'm throwing an idea out there.
If you don't have,
there could be opportunities for reward.
To do it.
Let's have a little kemachirim right now. No, I mean, I don't know about you, Baruch.
Wow.
I'll tell you that
You need to learn Chassidus.
When they pulled it away from us, when we talked about it last week.
You're right. On the level of chitzonius, you're absolutely right. We don't wake up in the morning and say, like, where's that statue?
But if we don't have Elohim Acherim, like our own other idols, I know that I do for sure.
But that's again. But I'm not throwing out for skila on those or whatever the.
But he's talking about Pnimius HaTorah. On the level of Pnimius HaTorah, are you kidding me? Elohim Acherim. That's probably the one that keeps us busiest. So the Alter Rebbe is saying, you're right. On the level of just pshat, you're probably not going to find yourself fight. The level of pshat, it's not going to desire from you to work on yourself in such a pnimius way. Because you say to yourself, well, I don't have to deal with this. It's not my inyan. It's not my bag. But on the level of pnimius Torah, these are the things that help you refine your soul more than any other way, because you don't address most of these things any other time.
So I'll give you a refine your soul. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily willing to do the averos.
It's not. It's all
It doesn't mean
extensions of it. Like, look to yourself. You might not want to kill somebody right now, but you might have an inclination to embarrass people.
You're jumping into drush.
No, but that's the point with the Torah. It's saying how is it supposed to change you? Not like a technical work within the rubrics of the societal laws.
There could have been 30,000 or million or infinite number of ways that Hashem could have given you to get to that end. You still told us what there's.
Yeah,
which I'm asking you to a degree.
Because he wants you to understand that it's the same thing. It's the same concept. When you embarrass somebody, it's like you're murdering them.
I'm with you.
But if he brought a different example, it wouldn't be as powerful.
Look, to tie this back inside, he's saying over here that there's midot tiviyot. We took it a little bit too far. There are midot tiviyot inside of us. The Torah tells us a bunch of things that we don't really understand what the Torah is telling us unless we learn it through Pnimius Torah, to tackle them. That's it. Yeah, Eli.
Briefly, there was once Rebbe Rashab was walking the street, and some fellow came over and started to just personalize. You're a murderer, you're a knife, and just went on and on and on. And the Hasidim were like, Rabbi, are you going to respond?
Right.
And he said, everything he said is true. And that was it. It just diffused it. The fellow walked away, and everybody continued on. So,
you saw this?
I heard it from somebody.
Oh, you heard it? Oh, wow.
From someone who was there.
Wow.
Welcome back to this time.
Yeah. Ki im kol asiyotenu ve'inyanenu, all our actions in doing this world, hein ba'avoda, whether it's avodas Hashem, which means tefillah, Torah, mitzvahs, ve'hein be'inyanei ha'olam, and also in worldly matters, hamuchrachim l'kiyum haguf, which are essential to keep the body intact. If all of these things yu bechavana amitit l'shem shamayim, asher chafetz Hashem, that all these things that we're doing should be v'l'shem shamayim, which Hashem wants us to do. V'Hashem yitbarach avarachamim, Master of the world, the Father of mercy, yirachem aleinu, will have compassion on us. V'yancheinu b'derech hatova v'yishara, Yeshar yechzol pnimo. And Hashem will guide us in the right way, the right and straight way, which will take us inside. This is a letter from the Yutes Kislev, Taf Reish Samech Bet. Taf Reish Samech Bet is 1902. Right?
No, 1912. Samach Bet is 72 from plus 40.
1902. Ayin Bet would be
Ayin Bet,
1912.
right.
Samech Bet is 1902. This is the Rebbe. This is the Rebbe Rashab. He, I think he passes away in 1920. I'm not certain right now. He writes this in 1902. This letter talking about the day of Yutes Kislev. Now this was one small letter from one of the 7 Rebbeim, describing the power of Yutes Kislev. But it's more than just the power of Yutes Kislev. What do we see when we see this Rebbe speaking about the day of Yutes Kislev in regards to the importance of the Sefer Tanya? That's the point here that I wanted to get to. What do you think? What do we see? What are we hearing that he's not really saying about the auspicious day Yutes Kislev, and specifically about Limud Tanya, Bifrat? That it's what? Like why are we toiling in it so much? What is it here to reveal to us?
Everything. It's the whole purpose. It's everything. It's the goal.
Let's just say it. Like we're scared to say it. Like it's not an aspect of refinement of the soul. It's in Chassidus believes that this is the whole shebang. It's the whole deal. This is how person fixes his soul in this world. And it's Divrei Elokim Chaim. Do you know that they say that the Alter Rebbe once spent, I think they said 2 months, if he should add a letter Vav or take off a letter Vav in one of the prakim in the Tanya, on one of the words, if there should be a Vav or can't be a Vav. So we're learning all these things outside, but if we ourselves were just learning this letter from the Alter Rebbe, from the Rebbe Rashab, but we wouldn't be busy learning Tanya, so we would be skeptical about what he's saying right now. Even with the learning that we're doing, some of us have skeptic. There's some kind of skeptic place inside of us saying, "Is this really that big? Is it that big?"
It's a pretty shocking notion.
It's a pretty shocking notion. However, so is every time we open the Tanya. It's just as much of a shocking notion whenever we come to the way that we realize, wow, he's showing us everything. Like especially the last few prakim is just he's showing us everything. Now this theme goes throughout the whole Sefer Tanya, but it's very important for us, I think, to not just appreciate what we have, but just like I always say, if you see a Chabadnik that's really stuck in the whole Mashiach trip, right? If you learn Tanya inside, and if you spent your whole life in Lubavitch, and you followed the Rebbe's words from the first words that he said in public as Rebbe, you wouldn't be that quick to think that Mashiachist is crazy. It's not that you'd agree with him, but you'd understand a lot more about where is he coming from. This stuff is not stam, this idea. Like, the world was getting bored, it's crazy, let me make him into... There's so much more that meets the eye. Now, I'm not Chalila saying that that's what, anyone should say, this is the assumption, and now that's what we're going forth with. But we need to learn, we need to continue learning from the inside out, not from the outside in. And I felt like this letter was, especially the words that he said, 1 second, I have it here, especially when he began over here, and he said, in the second paragraph, Zayom Tchilat Ma'asecha, Shleimut HaKavana Amitit Bivriat Adam Alei Eretz. What does that mean? The completion of the purpose of why man came into this world is found through the Limud HaTanya. Those are big words.
Wow.
That's a big statement. Instead of us judging that statement, let's spend the rest of the year learning that statement, learning the depth of that statement, finding ourselves in that statement. And I believe very strongly that so much of what we weren't even aware that we're looking for, we're going to be finding in the Sefer Tanya. So anyway, this is a very important day that, like he said, there's a hamshacha, there's a drawing forth from the power of this day onto the rest of the year regarding Limud Pnimius HaTorah, because this is the day that it started to really begin to go out much, much larger, much, much bigger. And alavai, each of us can feel more and more part of when someone says to you, Chag HaGeula. So it's not just like, let me be part of a good Farbrengen, which is also important, like the women and men experienced last night here. But that I have a chelek in feeling that part of my soul is redeemed through Yutes Kislev as well. That part of me as well. Why? Not because I appreciate the Tanya, because the Tanya has gone into me. And the words of the Alter Rebbe are just as much for me as it was for his Hasidim. And we have to remember one thing: the learning has to be done, besimcha as well. That's a very important thing. So we have to sing one fast, happy nigun, a freilich nigun, for that. Bam 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 bam, bam 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 bam, bam 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 bam. Hey, bam 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 bam. Ay da, ay ay, bam 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 bam. Everyone, good yantiv, and we're gonna the Parsha Shir today 10:30, whoever's around after the women's Shir. Shkoyach.